Okay, think about your absolute favorite song right now. Got it? Maybe it's something by Adele, maybe it's a classic from Queen, or even that epic music from a video game you've been playing. What if I told you there's a single instrument, one that's over 300 years old, that's kind of the secret ingredient connecting them all? Well, today we're going to unpack the incredible story of the piano.
So you're probably thinking of a powerhouse voice or maybe a sick guitar solo, but nope, the answer is actually right there in the keys, the piano. You know, from those heartbreaking ballads to those huge epic game scores, those 88 keys are the secret sauce in so much of the music you love. And we're about to find out exactly why.
All right, so our story kicks off way back around the year 1700, and musicians at the time had this major problem. See, the most popular keyboard instrument just wasn't cutting it anymore. It was like playing a video game that was permanently stuck on one difficulty setting, and man, did it need an upgrade.
So here's the deal. Before the piano, you had the harpsichord. Think of it like a video game character with only one attack move. It didn't matter if you tapped the key or slammed it, you got the exact same volume every single time. But the piano? Whoa! It gave players total control. Its superpower was dynamics, the ability to play super soft and crazy loud. This was an absolute game changer.
And the genius who cracked this code was a guy named Bartolomeo Cristofori. He called his new invention gravicembalo col piano e forte, which is just a super fancy way of saying harpsichord with soft and loud. He wasn't even trying to be creative. He was basically just putting its killer new feature right there in the name.
So, how does this thing actually work? Well, when you press a key, you set off this insane chain reaction called the action. It's like a super complex combo move in a fighting game. A little hammer shoots up and strikes a string. That string vibrates, and then this big piece of wood called the soundboard acts like a giant speaker to pump up the volume. We're talking thousands of tiny parts all working together perfectly just for one single note. It's wild.
With these incredible new powers, the piano didn't just show up to the party, it completely took over the whole show. It was on its way to becoming a total superstar in the classical music world.
And I'm not kidding. The piano literally became the entertainment center of its time. And why? Well, because it was like having a tiny orchestra right there in your living room. A single person could play the main tune and all the backup chords at the exact same time. It was basically the original one-person band.
Now, as the piano got more famous, the places it was played in got bigger and bigger. So to fill these huge concert halls with sound, the piano itself had to level up. Think of it like an athlete bulking up to play in a giant stadium. They started building pianos with strong metal frames so they could handle thicker, tighter strings, which produced a sound massive enough for everyone in the back row to hear. Okay, but after completely dominating the formal, buttoned-up world of classical music, the piano was ready to break out. It was about to enter its rebel phase, finding a totally new voice in brand new styles of music that were all about energy and rhythm. I mean, just look at this journey. In just a few decades, the piano went from these fancy concert halls to packed, lively dance halls. It became the driving force behind the tricky rhythms of ragtime, the creative freedom of jazz, and the pure, raw energy of blues and swing. It just kept adapting, proving it could fit in absolutely anywhere. Ragtime was the ultimate hand coordination challenge. Seriously, your left hand had to hold down the fort, playing this super steady, march-like beat. Meanwhile, your right hand got to go wild, playing a syncopated, or ragged, rhythm that kind of pushed against that steady beat. It's what created this incredible, energetic sound. Then came jazz, and it brought a whole new skill to the table: improvisation. This is literally the art of making up music right there on the spot. It's just like a rapper freestyling a verse or a gamer having to invent a new strategy in the middle of a match. It's all about being creative in that moment.
And if you wanted to throw a party, you wanted boogie woogie. This style was just pure energy. It was fast, it was loud, and it was all built around these powerful, repeating bass lines from the left hand that just made you want to get up and move. This was music designed to be heard over a noisy crowd and get everybody on the dance floor.
So, from the dance halls, the piano made its next huge leap. It became a cornerstone of the music that would totally dominate the radio for the next 70 years and beyond.
Yeah, when rock and roll exploded in the 50s, the piano was right there in the middle of it all. And we're not talking about quiet, polite playing. Performers would just hammer on the keys with so much force and energy. Some would even stand up and kick the keys with their feet. It was awesome.
Even in today's pop music, the piano is still a total MVP. It really does everything.
It's the #1 tool artists use to write hit songs, it creates those emotional background parts that give you goosebumps, and it plays those super catchy melodies that get stuck in your head for like a week.
So where does that leave the piano today? I mean, has all this new technology made it obsolete? Not a chance. It's just evolved and unlocked its next level.
You know, when you compare a classic acoustic piano to a digital one, the biggest difference is how they make sound. Real, vibrating strings versus computer samples. But the perks of digital are huge for modern life. You can actually move them without a whole crew, and maybe the best part, you can plug in headphones and practice without anyone else hearing you. A total lifesaver. But here's what's really amazing to me. With all these changes on the inside, from hammers to computer chips, the layout of the keys on the outside has been the same for hundreds of years. The design is just so perfect, it's never needed an update. It just goes to show you, a truly great design is timeless.
And modern keyboards are just ridiculously versatile. We're not just talking about piano sounds anymore. A single keyboard can now make the sounds of over 100 different instruments. It's an entire orchestra, a rock band, and a synth pop group, all sitting in one box. It's nuts. So, if you take away just one thing from all this, let it be this. The piano's real power isn't just its sound. It's its incredible ability to adapt, to totally reinvent itself, and to stay absolutely essential, no matter how much the music changes around it.
Which kind of leaves us with a final question. When you look at its whole journey, from that first harpsichord to a modern digital keyboard, has the piano actually been replaced by technology? Or has it just been leveling up this whole time, unlocking a brand new skill tree for the future of music? What do you think?